Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3, so this is our video presentation for Engineering Economy project.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Abdullah Kabir bin Saharudin with matric number CN1919. So in this project, we move to the problem statement. The first one is no setup plan for the coffee cart business. So we need to have a setup plan in this project to make this project successful. So the second one is the initial cost involved in this project should not to be exceed RM 50,000 ringgit. So that we must calculate all the costs and it must be not exceed 50,000 ringgit. So we move to the project objective. So the first one is we must set up the plan for the coffee cart business. So in order to make the business successful, we have to make a plan and strategy to make the business can be run smoothly. So the second one is to find and quote the value cost involved in this project. So this is the methodology and the result analysis part. Okay. So our teammate will clarify on it. So we move to the project scope. Okay, we have two project scope here. The first one is to develop business strategy and plan to set up the business. The second one is to estimate the cost of portable cart and machine of the coffee that can be fit into Produa Myvi. So that is the scope or parameter that we are going to use in this project. So we move to the introduction. In this semester, we have been given an instruction for engineering economy courses by Dr. Irda. So we have to make a business model which was named as Creative Coffee on Cart. So this project is tend to estimate the cost of the portable coffee cart and the cost of the machines, which means the coffee machine. So the portable cart and machine should be fit into Product Myvi as the medium of the business. So the Product Myvi is going to be the platform of the business. Alright. Okay. So we have to estimate the cost to build the portable coffee cart and the cost of the machines, including the car modification. So the third one is we figure out some of coffee entrepreneur that is already exist in the market. They also use car as the medium or platform to sell this coffee business. Okay, we have made a reference for one of the franchise which is called uh, Arif Coffee First. Okay, the business owner is a veteran army, so he got inspired by visiting New Zealand when he see people in New Zealand are selling coffee with a car. So that he transformed as an SUV car, which is his Kia Sportage, to be a coffee cart shop. So we assume that the coffee cart will be placed into the Myvi car as a platform to run the coffee business. Okay, now we move to the literature review. I'm going to clarify all the term of the title of this project and cite any journal and text that is related to this project. So the first one is coffee. Coffee is pronounced as coffee, the fruit that is collected from various species of a coffee plant. So a roasted coffee bean is easily recognizable by anyone, but you might not know what an actual coffee plant looks like. So coffee trees with white flowers on it, coffee trees can grow to heights of more than 30 feet or in meters, 9 meters. As you can see on the slide, that is the coffee flower from the coffee plant. So that is coffee. Okay. So we move to the coffee on cart. According to lawinsider.com, coffee cart means a small self-contained outdoor structure for the retail sale of coffee or the other beverages or drinks. The coffee shops on wheels also can be defined of the coffee on cart. So the next is the proprietor of mobile coffee carts have a number of options available for them to running their business. Okay, so it is including they are renting out their carts to customer in the style of an open bar or selling individual cups of coffee or both of it. So we know that in this project we have to do a coffee on cart with a Myvi. So that we're going to maybe go to any places and selling it like a bar that I have mentioned just now, like an open bar. Okay, so we must develop a strategy to make this coffee cart on Myvi to be successful. So we have to make a calculation on the cost and plan a strategy on how to set up the businesses. Okay, that is the literature review. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Zulkifli bin Azmin, metric number AN190045. So we will continue to discuss about the methodology. So the methodology of the study is one of the main instruments that will be used in research that will be carried out, since it includes a variety of things, such as supplying information that is more in-depth about the study that will be done. The study approach is composed of two components that are qualitative and the quantitative. Both sections are equally important. When it comes to the technique for this project, we exclusively use the qualitative research from the library resource, such as journal, previous research paper, and information obtained directly from the businessman. The approach also includes a declaration of the many kind of procedure that are required for more inquiry, as well as the way the progress may be assessed. The research methodology provides a stage upon which to provide a demonstration of how we might interact with research activity in meaningful way. Within the scope of this discussion, we will examine the planning of the data, the design, and the various commercial strategy. Next, about the design. So the design was created to review the phase of considering the various aspects of the cost of modification done on vehicles such as car. This includes considering the cost of equipment, the durability of the product, as well as the cost of sale and other matters related to the design. Therefore, we have concluded that the design of the coffee on cart is the install on the car that meet the most requirement will be the one that we go with. After having many discussion and conversation, we agreed a number of different resources. We have come out with an idea for coffee on chart model concept. We consider the best in terms of design, functionality, comfort, and other factors. Data collection. So the research was carried out using the two fundamental approach, namely the obtaining of primary data and the reference of secondary data. The primary resource of data include the things like book, journal, and thesis, all of which are collected from official website and are thus safe from a kind of authorized modification. The sale of coffee that have already taken place provide the secondary statistic in order to gather the data that is more accurate and precise. Each and every financial transaction that is associated with the business has been recorded. As a result, the reliability of the study is increased, and it based on actual data that is difficult to false due to the fact that it predetermined by the buying and selling process. Cash flow diagram. So the amount of money that is reported in the project financial report, either the receipt or payment, is referred to as the cash flow for the project. On the timeline that is scaled to the volume of the cash flow, the costs are shown, and downward arrow is the cash flow diagram, while the revenue are depicted in upward arrow on the same timeline. When the diagram of cash flow is complete, another person should be able to solve the problem by referring that diagram. Example of negative cash flow include monies that have already been spent, such as deposit or mortgage payment. Arrow that point upward from the graph indicate positive cash balance. This arrow represent money that have been received, such as loan repayment or deposit at the bank. Methodology summary. So before beginning to perform a research, it is essential to have a well-defined approach. This is due to the fact that the quality of the investigation are reliant on precision with the technique goal of the study are used, objectives, as well the issue that were posed by researcher. This methodology make proper use of the proper procedure, systematic result, and appropriate application of this finding to create conclusion of research with credibility and high value. The researcher have provided an overview of the research technique that serve as a support system for study on how to establish a profitable business in this chapter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Daniel Rashidi. I will present about the result and analysis for our business project. Okay, first we have cost estimation. In cost estimation, we have two type of cost, which is fixed cost and variable cost. For fixed cost, there is insurance, utilities, maintenance, wage, and machine. Okay, next for the variable cost, we have labor cost, material cost, vendor, and risk cost. Okay, next for the calculation part, we have the calculation for life cycle cost, operation cost, maintenance cost, service cost, and occupancy cost. Okay, for the life cycle cost, we adding the service cost, maintenance cost, operation cost, and occupancy cost. Next, for operation cost, we adding the wage cost, utility cost, insurance cost, site rent cost, and vendor cost. Okay, third, for the maintenance cost, we have two maintenance that we need to maintain for our business project, which is the car maintenance and coffee machine maintenance. Okay, next, for the service cost, we're adding the labor cost, utility cost, and advertising. Okay, next, for the occupancy cost, we're adding the coffee machine, plus the occupation cost, and plus the card material. Okay, next, we move to the cash flow diagram. As can be seen by the first arrow pointing downward, we must invest our money to launch our business as a model. We anticipate spending Rm 8,980 ringgit to launch this coffee cart business. In addition, we have not yet begun selling the coffee, and we estimate that it will take around 7 months for us to recoup our investment. We also anticipated a profit of 3,537 ringgit from the sale of 706 cup of coffee in the first month. Our net profit is Rm 987 ringgit after deducting Rm 2,550 ringgit from the entire amount of money gained, which is the fixed cost for every month. For the first 4 months, the profit increase was between Rm 1,000 ringgit and 1,200 for every month. Okay, now we move to the project cost valuation. There are a few aspects that can be used to evaluate our project cost. First is direct cost. Direct cost associated with a single area such as a department or the project itself. Example of direct costs include fixed labor, materials, and equipment. Next is indirect cost. Costs incurred by the organization at large such as utilities and quality control. Labor cost. The cost of team member working on the project, both in terms of wage and time. Next is material and equipment. The cost of resource required for the project, from physical tool to software to legal permits. Next, we have facilities. Facilities is the cost of using any working space not owned by the organization. Okay, next, we have vendor. Vendor is the cost of hiring third-party vendor or contractors. Okay, lastly, risk. Risk is the cost of any contingency plan implemented to reduce costs. Okay, now for the last part of result analysis, which is a break-even point. We compute the break-even point by dividing the fixed cost by contribution margin per unit. Using the formula fixed cost divided by contribution margin per unit. Our business project has a fixed cost of 2,550 ringgit. To determine the contribution of margin, we must first compute it, subtracting the variable cost per unit from the selling price per unit of coffee yields, Rm 0.082 ringgit as contribution margin. Next, divide Rm 2,550 ringgit by Rm 0.0842 ringgit to obtain Rm 2,672 ringgit and 21 cent. Our business project break-even point is Rm 2,987 972 ringgit and 21 cent. I think that's all for my parts. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Aslam bin Omar. My metric number is AN190136. Next, I will present about discussion and recommendation. Based on the previous chapter, we can discuss that the total construction cost, maintenance cost, operation cost, and occupancy cost are summed up together for the Creative Coffee. World costing is about RM 8,918. Estimation costing of the project, the business coffee needed RM 9,000 ringgit to operating coffee cart business. So we take the chance to loan the financial with ETAP Bank, and they offer annual rate is 3% interest per year. Next, after make some early calculation, to prepare all initial money is about RM 6,400, which conclude coffee machine, material, labor cost, modification on car, occupancy, and advertisement. This project, we have set the target customer are from student university, because some rough observation make that students are more like take coffee, and so that we try to attract the student attention in Pago. We also planning that we can achieve a good profit on this business, and we set the profit target is RM 1,100 per month after subtract with any expenses cost. Cost also divide by two types, fixed cost and variable cost. To get the break even, we have total up the fixed cost and divide by contribution margin per unit and get about RM 2,672 with using a target minimum volume of sale. So we hope this project will gain a good result on what we predict. Next is the recommendation. The recommendation of this project is put a special drink on menu to give a trademark in this business, because of special drink that we offer, maybe it can catch attention customer on the area Pago and soon become regular customer. We also not only focus on student university, but if we get a chance, we also wanted to attract other people from Pago. Next, expand area sales. Join any event in surrounding area to introduce our branding coffee with coffee lover out there. Make sure to give the top service and give promotion when starting the business to attract their attention to buy the coffee product. Next, we can use green products such as paper straw and paper coffee cups to minimize the cost, but also not forget give some awareness about to caring our environment and stop using plastic to overcome issue global pollution. Thank you.